this conflict with United States, Israel, and Iran, and more recently when it comes to Iran and the United States. Now, there has been news reports that may sound shocking, but it turns out that there are reports that are coming out that President Trump reportedly was smuggled out of Turkey in a catering truck amid Iranian assassination threats. There you see, you have a picture of a catering truck. Can you imagine? The President of the United States sat in a catering trunk to be able to divert the operations. Now, here is what the news story is holding that is around the world, where it's discussing that the United States President, Donald Trump, was reportedly concealed inside of what you're seeing there, a picture of an airport catering truck, and was transferred to a smaller military aircraft as a part of an elaborate operation to leave Turkey following July's NATO summit. Now, according to reports by Washington Post and the New York Times, American intelligence had received information about a possible Iranian plot targeting President Trump or his aircraft. Now, the operation used one of presidential planes as a decoy while President Trump secretly departed abroad, an Air Force C-32A. So now the operations reportedly occurred on July 8th, and that was after the NATO summit in Ankara, Turkey. And President Trump publicly appeared to board the older Boeing 747 traditionally used as Air Force One. Now, approximately 6 minutes later, he was reportedly moved from the aircraft inside an airport catering vehicle, and the truck transported President Trump to a smaller Air Force C-32A military jet as another part of the airport. And now the C-32A then secretly carried President Trump and several senior aides to the RAF Mildenhall Hall in Britain. Now, reporters and some White House personnel traveled abroad a decoy aircraft, believing President Trump was with them. Now, the window shades were reportedly kept closed to prevent passengers from observing the operation. And the secret aircraft arrived in Britain shortly before the decoy plane, allowing President Trump to rejoin the official traveling operations. Now, the security measures followed intelligence concerns a possible Iranian assassination plot, and this intelligence was reportedly shared with the United States by Israel intelligence. Now, the White House has defended the protective measures, but has not publicly confirmed every operational detail. Of course, this is a secret mission. Now, the Secret Service generally refuses to discuss specifics when it comes to protecting the president and the procedures they take, but President Trump did originally travel to Turkey abroad a retrofitted Boeing 747-8 that was donated by Qatar. Now, the aircraft's acceptance had previously generated ethical as well as financial and national security concerns. Meanwhile, President Trump publicly said he was switching aircrafts on the return journey so American service members in Britain could tour the newer plane. Now, the subsequent reporting that's come out indicates that the change was connected to the heightened security concerns when it comes to the potential plot of an assassination attempt by Iran that was sent to the United States through Israeli intelligence. Now, the threat emerged at the same time as what you were seeing with the escalating hostilities between Washington, D.C. and Tehran. And Iran has repeatedly threatened to retaliate against President Trump and other former and current U.S. officials over American military actions, as well as the 2020 killing of Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani. So now Iranian media also recently circulated a video appearing to examine President Trump's motorcade routes and potential vulnerabilities. So now you have the US Secret Service that said it was reviewing all that material. And the important fact here is that this is an extraordinary operations that illustrates how seriously American intelligence and the Secret Service assess the possible Iranian threat for assassinating the president. Now, concealing the president's location, and even from journalists and some White House personnel, also suggests that there was fears that normal travel procedures could expose him to such attacks. Now, this is also, in the disclosure, also raises questions about how sensitive details of the presidential protection operations became publicly only weeks after. How we just heard about the story that he was, transported in that catering truck. So now here we have US authorities are expected to continue reviewing Iranian threats against President Trump and his advisors, as well as American military facilities. Now, the Secret Service may adjust presidential travel procedures without publicly disclosing changes. Of course, that's understood. But some lawmakers are calling for a congressional scrutiny of both the assassination threat as well as the security capabilities of the Qatari donated presidential aircraft.